The 20th year has been full of events and phenomena that have forced people to leave their comfort zones. Global problems which were born some time ago swept the globe as they especially aggravated now. The evolution of social relations has reached the stage of mass awareness of the need to endow all people with equal opportunities. Previously oppressed social groups began to actively fight for their rights, and many found support from the state. However, many were not satisfied with such a policy. Reverse discrimination is a discrimination against members of a dominant or majority group in favor of members of a minority or historically disadvantaged group. We can find its manifestations in very different spheres of life.
On the 9th of September, the American Film Academy presented a list of criteria that must be met in order to receive an Oscar for Best Picture. The statement said this should promote fair representation on and off the screen. The main point is that there is strictly limited minimal amount of minorities. From 2024, it will be impossible for a film to qualify for an Academy Award for Best Picture if it does not meet the new criteria to guarantee a place in production for women and minorities. Based on the survey conducted for our study, most of those who know about the approved rules do not support them. Devon Franklin, a film producer who co-led the initiative, said they were successfully voted through by the Academy's Board of Governors in June, in the wake of the global protests following the death of George Floyd.
Amid the murder of black man George Floyd by police on May 25, 2020, massive protests erupted in the United States under the banner of Black Lives Matter. It would seem that the fight against racism should proclaim the unity of Americans. However, the alternative slogan All Lives Matter was considered controversial at the dawn of the Black Rights Movement, and by 2020 it will be recognized as racist and hostile. After conducting a survey, we said that not many support BLM. Most likely, this is due to such a phenomenon as reverse racism. In 2016, blogger Joy Selets conducted a social experiment. He stood with a Black Lives Matter poster in a white neighborhood where he was mostly told that they did not distinguish between people by skin color, but he was immediately attacked after appearing in a black area with a poster All Lives Matter.
On the 1st of December, the American Nasdaq Stock Exchange published a list of new preparing requirements for companies that issue their shares there. Now, to go public, a company must include a woman and a minority on the board. Many well-known and successful companies will be forced to change leadership. Highly skilled professionals have fewer opportunities to get into a company because they are not endowed with the guarantees that provide them with a job. However, the survey showed that the majority support such rules. But why? Indeed, in our other question, in which we ask how correct the path of struggle for rights through reverse discrimination is, the majority expressed their disagreement with this method.
The thing is that concept of reverse discrimination is closely linked to the concept of so-called affirmative action, which describes the same but as a positive measure to the solution of the discrimination problem. Our survey shows that most of the interviewed showed an agreement with that kind of policy, and followers of that criticize reverse discrimination proofs. For example, Professor of American History Malvin Orlovsky claims that there is a very little hard evidence to prove that a minority hire almost always took place at the expense of a better qualified white person. And the history of introduction and winding up the measures of affirmative action shows that representation of underrepresented social groups decreased every winds up. Furthermore, why not to think about it as an experiment? Employers will be forced to communicate and work with people they've possibly never worked before due to their prejudice. Such experience of albeit not voluntary but interaction can help to find them up. Humans will gain previously missing experience which can lead to the equality without external adjustments in the future. So, what do we have in rest? During the study at some point we were sure that our hypothesis was confirmed. These actions only lead to the deeper inequality. However, it turns out that it is possible to look at these measures from the point of view of positive discrimination, which carries a positive experience of close interaction between the majority and the minority, which was previously absent due to prejudice.